So I just want to throw this out there.
Yeah.
I was not always the culinary genius that you see before you today.
I do see before me a culinary genius.
Well,
I do see that.
stop.
I have tasted some delicious items.
I've done pretty well for myself,
Yeah.
but it's not always the case. I was learning and still try things here and there where I'm trying. It might be a little out of my wheelhouse, but
Right?
What about you?
I definitely was not the culinary savant that I am
Yeah.
today. I did try things also. I've always kind of like tried my hand at cooking things. My parents they both worked, and so
Yeah.
I was cooking for myself a lot. And started with like bagel bites and things like that. So
You always burn your mouth.
Right. Yeah. Roof of your mouth is. I don't even have a roof in my mouth
Well, I think that's a culinary disaster.
because of bagel bites in fifth grade.
I do think that's a culinary mishap,
Sure.
and that's what we're going to talk today
Sure.
about on this show.
Yeah. Culinary mishaps on Bacon is My Podcast, brought to you by our good friends at drinkwildbills.com.
Wait, we have to do something.
What do we have to do?
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Now you can
Drinkwildbills.com,
Yeah.
poddex.com. What else we got? Manscaped. We've got
Mythical Beards.
Mythical Beards. We've
Drink
got
your- grill your ass off.
grillyourassoff.com. All those things. Check them out. BakersByPodcast.com for all the specials and deals.
Yes.
Find us over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, culinary mishaps.
Yeah. I mean, one of my a fun one. Well, I mean, okay, so
Well, what got you into cooking first? What was like the when did you start? Was it like for me it was a matter of like I said, both parents worked. So there were always like items in the freezer that you could make. And then I would try things here and there. And I think my first big one was I made like pork chops.
right.
And my grandmother had she made what's called cross-patch potatoes, which take a baked potato, you cut it into thirds, right? And then you hatch it, like cut cross hatches in it, and then you bake it in the oven with butter on it. It gets crispy on top and still fluffy in the middle. I used to love those.
Okay.
So I made pork chops and cross-patch potatoes, and I believe that was the first like thing that I tried to cook where I was like, I'm gonna cook dinner for everyone.
Right.
And it turned out pretty well, actually. I did all right with it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I my father is, so the way it works in my parents' house, and always growing up, is my father was the grill master.
Okay.
He was the grill guy, and mom was the kitchen person.
Right. Those were their domains.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was always grilling, super early on.
Okay.
And then, my mom would kind of, when you're younger too, you're kind of like, oh, okay, mom, whatever. But, she'd say, Mike, come in here and help me out and stuff. Also with she was sick and stuff like that. So sometimes I would have to make like your pastas. And,
right.
things like that. But overall, yeah, she just kind of said, hey, can you help me out here? And then I eventually, just kind of dabbled in doing stuff, I moved to eggs and then moved to this and then moved to that. And I always enjoyed it. I wasn't doing like big meals or anything. I would do
like
something
for
with
yourself.
I'd cook for myself and maybe one other person or
Yeah, that's
whatever
kinda
it
what I
is. But never like a full on meal for everybody. But when early on when Jen and I were dating, I made this like stuffed chicken. And I was so excited because it looked really awesome. It was coming out really awesome. It was before I moved out. And so I set up 2 tables very much like these, the little snack tables, and I put them front to front in my room,
Mm-hmm.
2 chairs, put a tablecloth over, try to be nice, real nice and stuff.
Yeah.
I present everything. I cut open the chicken. It's fucking pink. And I was like, shit.
A little mid-rare chicken.
And so we did not eat it.
Mm-hmm.
I ran back downstairs, put them back in the oven for a little while, took them out again, still pink.
Mm-hmm.
Put them back in again. And then eventually they turned white the way they should.
Right.
But that was, I'm going to say that was like the first time I really cooked for Jen.
Right.
And I'm sure she was kind of like, ooh, this could be an issue if we're if we're thinking that this is going to be a forever thing. I mean,
Does Jen cook?
She does. She actually has like her specific things that she likes to cook. She's capable of cooking anything.
Right.
She
right.
very much is, and she'll deny it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's good at baking.
Okay.
She doesn't love the rigidness of baking because you have to do everything to a T.
Yeah.
But I think she's better at baking than I am.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why. I think because I'm kind of like, well, if I just do this, maybe.
What can I add to this?
What can I give it a little zazz? But
yeah, I also do that.
yeah, and then it just ruins the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always loved cooking, but yeah, just learning different things, and then finally we moved out, and I wanted to do eggs Benedict. I tried poaching an egg.
Okay.
Between Jen and I, we went through a dozen eggs trying to poach.
Not
an
a
egg.
one poached.
Not one poached.
Nice.
Not one poached.
I've never poached an egg. So
If you get a chance to, don't.
I have no desire.
Yeah. No, it's
Neither me nor Annie like poached eggs. So
okay.
So there's no.
Well,
we
like Benedicts.
Right.
So you do the Benedicts.
They
and
have
it's
to,
like,
yeah.
you gotta. But yeah, that's something I still haven't gotten. Well, technically I did. We got one of those microwave egg things.
Yeah.
And sometimes they work for certain things, sometimes they work for other things, but they actually did a pretty good poached egg.
Okay.
So in that way, but in the traditional sense, I still haven't mastered it. But I'm not losing sleep over it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a quality that is necessary in life unless you eat a lot of them, or have a job doing it.
Right.
But
Yeah. Like you never had any kind of like major fuck ups.
well, no, I've been trying to think about it since like I'm not at all saying that everything I've ever cooked was successful, but I didn't really have any huge disasters. There were definitely times where I overcooked something.
Right.
Things like that, but there was nothing that was like shit.
Well, the stories.
Yeah.
The stories are the fun ones.
Right, exactly. So I'm trying to think back to times where I've had that. I mean, I definitely had times where like I tried to do something that the equipment that I had at the time was not prepared for.
Okay.
I did have this little, when I lived in Queens, I had this, I bought this little like grill, this little like charcoal grill that was probably the size of a lunchbox. So there was no way you were going to get it hot enough to do something like sear a steak.
Right.
Right? But I was like, I'm going to try and cook this London broil on here. Or not, or skirt steak on here. Skirt steak, it needs super high heat.
Yeah.
And before I really kind of like got into learning how to cook different cuts of meat, I just was like, well, beef needs to be cooked a certain way, and they all need to be cooked that certain way.
Yeah.
Unless it's a stew or a roast, it's this, kind of heat, and it's this way it's done. So I tried to cook a skirt steak on that little lunchbox grill, and literally just sat there for like an hour.
Yeah.
Turning this thing over, and it's just gray. And I was just like,
I think we've all had that. Like senior cut day, we did that at the beach, and beside it being for some reason unbelievably windy, which is not good for a charcoal grill.
No.
We had that for my brother-in-law's bachelor party. We went to a supermarket down in the Carolinas called Harris Teeter,
Okay.
and we had we just bought a plethora of meat, just tons of meat,
Right.
a couple pounds of bacon, a couple pounds of this type steak, and they had this little electric grill that my sister said, "Do not cook on this." So I cooked on it,
Right.
and we put it out on their porch, and it was about yay wide, and we had tons of meat on it. Again, like you said, took about 30 minutes to finish a steak.
Right.
And that's not normal steak
Yeah.
conditions.
That's the other thing I wasn't aware of early on was that like, I have a grill. It's at the right temperature to cook now.
Yeah.
Let me load the entire grill up with steaks and leave no room for any air or circulation.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely did that a lot
Sure.
when I first was starting cooking and everything. And so it'd be like, it's way too long for steaks to be on. And you're like, they're not getting seared on the outside, but these are way done
Yeah.
on the inside.
Well,
And you're moving them up to the swinging upper rack on
Yeah.
the grill and all that shit.
I've actually had quite the opposite happen as well.
Okay.
Where things were, you're ready to cook, ready to go, you're good to go. And for some reason, I had Peter Luger's bacon. And I
Okay.
said, you know what? I could be pretty badass on the grill. So I put the
Oh.
Peter Luger's bacon on, as well as some Kobe beef sliders.
Uh-huh.
And I put them on, turned around, went back in the house to put the plate back in, came back out, and I was like, huh, it's smoking a little bit.
Yeah.
I open it up,
Fire.
flip everything over, close it up, turn around, black smoke. Just black smoke
Yeah.
completely engulfing the backyard.
Right.
None of that was edible. None of that was
Just
edible.
the bacon fat leaking down on everything, creating the smoke.
It was the bacon fat and the Kobe beef fat.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That makes sense, too.
Because that's a very fatty piece of
Right.
meat.
Just running down on the coals.
Oh, it was no, that wasn't on a coal thing.
Oh,
that was
too?
here.
Okay.
That was actually
Okay.
here. My in-laws were here to eat, and we were like going through the burgers to see what was salvageable, because there was like,
What can we find?
well, this side is only slightly charred.
Yeah.
This is we could pick through this. And I was like, let's just get Chinese food.
I've definitely burned my share of buns that I've tried to toast.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of a constant thing with me. Because I'll keep looking, and they're not getting any better, and then I'll be like, I gotta stop looking, and I'll turn around and I'll go back, and they'll be black, and I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I've definitely toasting buns on the grill, I am incapable of.
Interruption!
I was gonna do the hold up. Hey. But that was better.
Nice.
There's no time like today to take care of your hygiene.
Indeed.
And one of those things that can help you, if you're a man or a woman even,
Yeah.
Manscaped. Manscaped can help you with their lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah.
Their lawnmower 4.0 has skin-safe technology. It's a ceramic blade. It's waterproof. It's got a nice little LED light, so this way you can see underneath all those crevices.
Shave your privates in the shower in the dark. Don't actually do that.
Don't do that.
But you could.
Yeah, you could with Manscaped.
Because you have a light.
Indeed. And for guys, listen, the perfect package 4.0
Yeah.
is like where it's at for you guys, because
Well-
it comes with not only the lawnmower, not only the weed whacker for your ear and nose holes.
Well, we got one. So, yeah. So, bring it up real quick. What you also get, so yes, for one, you get the lawnmower 4.0, which is ceramic blades. It's not going to cut you. It's got a guard, so you can, make sure that you got a trim in some spots. You got to
Yes.
the skin in other spots. You make sure that beanbag's shiny. We also have some
Package that beanbag in
Underwears.
The underwear.
Yeah.
It's got the little ball pouch.
It does have the ball pouch.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Separate. It's technology.
This right here
I like
is
this.
for when you are shaving your balls.
Yeah.
It's little placemats, so this way...
It's like a newspaper.
Yeah, but then you just, you shave them, you crumple it up, you throw it away. No mess, no huss, no fuss.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
is
also
that
got
how it goes?
it's got some fun, funny articles in it.
It
as
does.
well,
It
so
does. It does when you read
I
it.
recommend you definitely read it, but not while you're shaving your nuts.
No. There's the ball deodorant.
Yes, I use it every day. Crop preserver.
And the crop reviver.
I don't use it every day, but I have used it plenty
It is
of times.
pretty fantastic. You need that midday spritz.
Yep.
Just psst, psst, go for it. Freshens you up right away.
Who doesn't love a little spritz on the beanbag?
Exactly. And where do I keep it all? Well, right here. The shed, baby.
You know what? The shed is a pouch for the things to clean your pouch.
Exactly.
Right? Right?
I use it personally for my toiletries when I travel.
You do. I've seen it.
I've got multiple. I've got a few of them.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, go ahead, manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD.
You get 20% off this entire order plus free shipping. Not only can you get the Perfect Package 4.0, but you can sign up for their program where they will send you new stuff automatically.
New blades.
Every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. You decide what you need. If you need new blades every 3 months, they'll send you new blades every 3
Yes.
months. If you want to check out maybe the crop mops,
I can't talk about the crop mops enough.
they're my favorite thing.
Yes.
Get those every month.
When you
Anyway,
come
just
and you
get
hang
them.
out with us and we see you and stuff like that, we always have crop mops on our person. So
Yeah, it's
make
like
sure
a
you
business
ask us.
card, but for Manscaped and not us.
Yes. So go ahead,
Yeah.
manscaped.com, promo code BACONPOD, 20% off, free shipping. Call it a day. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Really?
Flat top, I can do it. I can do it in a pan. I can do it anywhere else.
Really?
On a grill, I burn them every time.
Wow.
And they not only do I burn them, but I get them to the point where the entire bun is crunchy like you're gonna put it on salads,
Like a crouton.
like a crouton.
Huh.
Or like an uncooked noodle. It's like
Right.
a handful of ramen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. What part of my brain just doesn't work with that?
That's odd. Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is I usually I put them on the unlit.
Right.
I'll turn the burner off and then I'll put them onto the side. A lot of times. Another fun bread cooking story.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't me. It was my children.
Okay.
So back when I was working out of the house, Jen had to go to work early, so she jumped in the shower, and the kids said, "Mommy, we want toast." And she said, "Okay, no problem. Go ahead and make toast." And she went in the shower because Gavin's 9.
Right.
Well, at the time he was probably 8.
8 years old is plenty old enough to make toast.
You can make toast, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, in a toaster, correct?
correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, they're not.
No,
put
they're
a
not.
pan
No. So
under the broiler.
yeah, right. No, so they put it in, and then all of a sudden she's taking a shower, and the smoke alarm's going off. She comes out. The kids are watching TV. The toast is burning up,
Right.
and they're none the wiser. The smoke alarm is blaring, and she's like, guys, what is happening here? Can you what are you doing?" And they were like, "Oh, it's kind of smoky in here." It's like, yes, children.
Did they just forget?
I guess so.
And the toast didn't pop up?
I guess not. No, we got a new toaster since then.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me they buttered it first or something like that.
No. In fact, I think Jen was around when they plugged it in because she had to plug it in for them.
Right, okay.
So he just put them in and just 2 pieces and dropped them down. And yeah, dude, it smelled like smoke for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a smell that doesn't go away.
It doesn't dissipate right away.
Our apartment, our current apartment, because it's a basement, we have the only window to the outside world is in our bedroom, which is on the other side from the kitchen.
Which doesn't help you.
So whatever we cook, that is what our apartment is going to smell like.
Right.
and that's
Right.
just how it's going to work. And you don't notice it until you like the bathroom is upstairs. So you go upstairs to use the bathroom, and then you go to come back down. And you're like, oh,
Yeah. Well, I cooked burgers inside yesterday or the other day, and yeah,
I cooked burgers the other day too.
yeah, so it
I had
smells
I had a random wanting burgers thing.
yeah, and so it smells like meat,
Yeah,
burger meat for a little while.
which is a glorious smell.
It is. It is.
It is a glorious smell. What'd you do? I did smash burgers.
You know what? It was one of those things where it was just for the kids. Last minute, Jen makes the burger patties and freezes them.
Gotcha.
So this way, in a pinch, what do you want? Want burgers? Cool. Throw them in. Now I usually do them in the air fryer, so this way they don't smell.
Okay.
It doesn't smell as much.
Right.
But I decided to go pan for some reason. I don't know why.
Because they taste better.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
That's why.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know?
I agree.
You get the higher heat, direct contact,
You're right.
and they're juicier. You know, they tend to dry out in the air fryer.
If you're smart about it, you gotta keep checking on them.
Right.
Like, because that's the thing that you gotta realize is that with the what's it? With the air fryer, people are usually like, oh, you can't open it. Don't open it unless you, and it's like, no, you have to open that because
you gotta
you
keep
gotta make
checking
sure that it's not fucked up.
Well, it's basically a tiny convection oven,
Exactly.
and it cooks faster because it's a smaller area.
Right.
But yeah, you don't get the Maillard reaction. You don't get that direct contact with the heating source, kind of like crust on the burger thing.
Now, the first thing that I did mess up in the air fryer was cheese on a cheeseburger. Because the air pushed so hard on the cheese on top of the burger that it just pulled it right up.
Oh,
and
okay.
onto the heating element up on top. That sucked.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve.
Every new appliance is a new learning curve. My grandmother got me when I moved into my second place. We had a big kitchen, and she got me a bread maker.
Oh yeah, those.
So
are great.
it was like you just throw in the ingredients and you set a timer, and then like you wake up in the morning and there's like fresh bread, which is
that's pretty fantastic.
pretty incredible thing to happen. But yeah, that it's the same thing. It's like you put a little bit too much in, you wake up in the morning and that lid is off because you've got bread popping out. You got a mushroom top coming out of your bread maker. Or not enough, and your bread is so dense that it's like a dry sponge.
Thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had those baking. I've had some of those mishaps.
Yeah,
because again, baking is just not really my thing.
Baking's different. Baking's a different animal altogether. They say that baking is a science. It truly is a science.
Yeah. Now you telling me about your you were making dinner for Jen reminded me of something when I was in high school. My high school girlfriend, I wanted to make dinner for. So I decided I was going to make, like, maybe it wasn't high school. Maybe it was just out of high school, because I had tried Thai food.
Oh.
And so I was like, I'm going to make like a chicken noodle in a peanut sauce.
Oh, that's incredible. I love
Right?
that.
And so trying to make the peanut sauce itself was the hardest part of the entire thing.
Right.
Because trying to get the right consistency using peanut butter and using oil and using, like different, like vinegar, I think was part of it, and thinning it out and all that kind of stuff was really kind of like a tricky thing. And I didn't quite get it right. So as everything started to cool, it just started to become like a peanut butter noodle glob. So that wasn't that wasn't one of my finer ones either.
Not your finest hour.
Yeah, so that was there's another one. And then another, just a funny story, the going back to the little the little lunchbox thing. I had that when I lived with a couple of comedians. Jesse Joyce is one. Look him up. He's fantastic. So I lived with them, and we both worked at Planet Hollywood in Times Square, and I haven't worked there long enough now to where I can say this. We decided one day that we were going to steal a bunch of food and have a cookout and invite other workers, like have the work party at our place.
Right.
So we recruited a couple of our buddies, and we all kind of took turns. We'd go into like the one person had to go get like bags and fill them with ice and then go hide them in the side stations. And then someone else would go into the fridge or the freezer area and have a meat. So somebody's job was burgers, and somebody's job was chicken, somebody's job was steak, somebody's job was ribs. So we had people...
Oh my God, ribs?
Yeah, we had people taking full racks of ribs that are wrapped in cellophane and opening their shirts and putting the ribs on their ribs, buttoning their shirt back up, walking to the side station where we like fill sodas, and we would like stand guard while they unbuttoned their shirt, took ribs out, and shoved them in these ice-filled bags.
That's amazing.
That we did. And so we had like, I think it was like full racks of ribs. We had we had like 3 or 4 steaks, burgers, chicken, and we were like, we're gonna have a party. The only thing we had was a tiny stove and that lunchbox thing, and we were like, this is how we're gonna cook all this.
How'd that work out?
I mean, great and not well at the same time. Because we didn't plan it out in a smart way. We weren't like, okay, so the grill can just be used to heat things up that are already cooked. No, we were like, burgers and steaks, of which you could cook 2 steaks,
right,
or 3 burgers at a time. And like I said before, it didn't get hot enough to sear anything. So everything ended up going back to the oven anyway. And so everything was like baked burgers and steaks. But we were so drunk and
it didn't really
high and
matter.
everything. But the best part was like managers came.
Right.
And we fed them the food that we had stolen from the restaurant that they manage. And they all kind of, nobody asked, but they were all looking at us like, where'd you get this fucking food?
That's great. That is so great.
Yeah, so that's a fun story that I
like that. I like that.
That I enjoyed having.
I had or a buddy of mine. He will remain nameless, Steve DeLeo. And he went to culinary school. He went to Napa.
Okay.
Culinary school. He sends me pictures of these amazing dishes, right? Let me just real quick pull this up because it is fantastic looking food. He's a fucking chef.
Right.
Like really good at what he does. And yeah, it's not coming. Oh, here we go. So like you have stuff like this. Like a
Oh wow, is that like a short rib? Or like a
pork, I think. Wait. He's got like that.
Wow, okay.
Look at this. Look at this stuff.
For those of you who can't see this, it's
TV.com.
It looks delicious. It looks like tiny food on a big plate, which is what chefs do.
But like
that looks.
It.
Those look
great.
Those are mine. Okay,
those are mine.
But that looks great.
Yeah, it's like a pear salad and stuff. So he makes things like that. He invited a lovely lady to my wedding, to which she spent the night at his house, and we were having a little get-together barbecue the day after, before we left for our honeymoon, and she was invited as well. Steve showed up solo, and I was like, "Oh, what's her name?" Well, I was making eggs, She got really sick from them.
Oh no.
He wanted to make an over easy egg.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, that over easy egg was so oily that she got sick from it.
Wow. See, even pro chefs can make mistakes.
Yeah.
Errors happen in this world. No one's perfect.
Yep. I had an ex once.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to make easy mac. Lit the microwave on fire. Because somebody didn't put water in the easy mac.
Seems like it's easier than that.
It's, one would think. But
right.
here we are. That is another story I have.
You know, there is currently a lawsuit in Florida from a Florida woman that is suing, I believe it's Kraft, or the parent company of Kraft, because, or Velveeta, one of those, because their directions on their easy 3-minute personal mac and cheese are misleading, because it takes longer than 3 minutes if you also factor in taking the lid off,
Oh my god.
opening the cheese, putting the cheese in, and stirring it. Those things add time to it. So she has filed a lawsuit and is trying to get like millions of dollars from them because of their misleading directions.
I truly hate people. Like, it's things like that make me really
Pretty incredible, right?
hate people.
Now, just as an aside, we were talking about your ex. My current, the current, the sugar in my coffee, the chocolate in my milk, the cheese on my pizza, Annie Stoic. She self-admittedly, all the time says she can't cook.
Yes.
Now, there are certain things that she does really well. She has a really good, like, corn and onions and brown sugar side that she does really well. She has really good sides, I gotta say. But she will cook things sometimes. I'm trying to think of a specific, because there are definitely times, like, she's one of those people that when she goes to cut something, I look over and she's like holding it, and then the knife is going like a full like foot in the air with like a really like with a really kind of like loose grip. It's just hatcheting down on something like cheese, and you're like, hey,
let's calm down here.
Let's chill out on the hatcheting the cheese.
Yes.
So there's usually it's prep like that. Like she'll do that with onions too. Like she'll just start like hammering with a knife.
You can't hammer an onion.
No, you
shouldn't.
You
definitely shouldn't.
You can.
You
I've
can.
seen it.
Yes.
Seen it happen.
I can. Yes, you can.
It doesn't give you the desired effect.
No, it doesn't.
But yeah, so she's also one. She's one of those that she's afraid to season things. She's afraid she's gonna over season them. So you'll take a bite and you'll be like, I could use salt. Is there any? She'll be like, I did put salt, and it's like this little like pinch of salt. You're like, this is a whole meal. Everything you did is great.
Yeah,
it's just not seasoned at all. So. Yeah. So we go through those things, but she recently made a lasagna that was
very nice,
really good. Like I came home it was actually like on Valentine's Day, I think. She made a lasagna. She went and got like ricotta cheese, and she got like now we have the unfortunate necessity to get gluten-free noodles,
right?
Which gluten-free noodles, they don't taste any different at all, but they're a pain in the ass to cook.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Because they just break.
They break, and or they're super sticky.
Yeah.
They stick to fucking everything.
Yep. And it's always one of those two things too.
Right.
If you cook it al dente, you can get it and it starts to get sticky. The minute it goes a little bit further than that, every noodle just breaks into small, it looks like Lipton noodle soup. Like it just shreds into fine hairs. And
Yeah.
you're like, what is this? So it's always tricky trying
Yeah.
to do that. But other than that, like, you know, we do, like, you had mentioned something. You did a carbonara that you did.
Yeah,
recently?
last night.
I definitely want your recipe on
Yeah.
that, because we
It's
do
super
carbonara.
easy.
We do carbonara a lot, and we've tried many different recipes doing that. Where there've been a couple times where she's made it where, like, the eggs are a little scrambled, you know, like they're,
Yeah.
but it's tricky.
Yeah, I mean, for me, all I really did was bake, cut up the bacon, throw it in, let it cook, pull the bacon out, saute onions and garlic.
Yep.
Let it go for a little bit. You cook the pasta on the side. You keep a little bit of water, and then I did was a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese, or
Okay.
I used Pecorino Romano,
Right.
and it's a blend.
Right.
It's a blend. I don't remember what exactly it is, but it's a half.
The
half.
Reggiano, Pecorino Romano.
Yes. Yeah. So it's that, and then 2 eggs, and just mix that all up, and then you throw your pasta in, you throw your bacon back in. I threw some peas in, get your veggies in, and then I put that mixture in, salt, pepper, and then add the water to loosen it up a little bit.
Yeah. That's the other thing with gluten-free is sometimes the pasta water's not quite starchy enough.
Oh.
So you end up having to add more water than you would.
Okay,
And
right.
it also
And
can mess up the
yeah.
dish. So consistency, you got to, like, watch the whole time. Quick reminder that this show is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Mythical Beards. Check them out, mythicalbeards.com. You can get stickers, you can get hoodies, you can get all that kind of stuff. But most importantly, you can get shit for your face.
Keep your beard fresh, keep it clean, keep it groomed. If it's good enough for Mick Foley, God damn it, it's good enough for us.
I'm wearing the Kraken right now.
I am actually wearing the Dracula.
Nice.
And that's why I smell like an old-time barbershop.
If you go to mythicalbeards.com and use the promo code
Bacon15,
you get 15% off your entire order. The show is also brought to you by our good friends at GrillYourAssOff.com, where you can also get 15% off of your order of all spices, grilling rubs.
they're delicious freaking sauces.
Yes, delicious sauces, all that kind of stuff. Every season is grilling season if you like to cook.
Yes.
So definitely check it out. GrillYourAssOff.com. Use the promo code
Bacon, because it'll keep grilling season all year fucking long.
15% off with the promo code. 10% off at drinkwildbills.com, where you can get all kinds of great sodas, which we've seen lots of mixers for. So keep sending them in. Hashtag drinkwildbills. Hashtag what's your bacon. Send us your beverage options.
Of choice.
And also poddex.com. You can see them in another part of the show.
Yes, indeed.
But both of those, 10% off, use the promo code BACON. So
Yes.
check it out. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you got. Use them. Find them. If you can't remember what we just said, go to baconismypodcast.com. Everything's there. Check it out. Thanks for watching. That sounds good. Last time I did carbonara, I actually tried a method I saw online where they did the eggs and the Parmesan and everything in a jar, and like a mason jar, and just shook it up
Okay.
to get everything kind of emulsified beforehand, and then poured that into it, which I guess doesn't do anything different than if you just do it all in a bowl.
Right.
But it was just, like...
Well, I let it sit there for a little while too. That's the other
Yeah.
thing, because you can't just do it and then dump it.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
That doesn't work that way. You gotta do it before you start your bacon. But yeah, it worked out really well.
Nice.
Jen really enjoyed it. It was my first time really doing it, and I was like, shit.
That's one of
easy.
our go-tos.
Oh, yeah?
Carbonara is so good, man. It's like, it's one of those dishes that's super easy to make. I'll do the Alfredo that I did on the Patreon.
Okay, yeah.
I'll do that a bunch of times too, just because it's so simple and it doesn't need anything.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, I
super
shied
cheesy and
away,
good.
because of my sensitivity to cheese.
Right.
I shy away from a little bit of the heavy cream stuff, but
Yeah. Well, no, I did. There's no heavy
or
cream
not,
in my
not heavy
Alfredo.
cream, but
There's no cream in it at all.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I have to watch the page.
You gotta check that out.
I'm not a subscriber.
No, it's
So-
it's pasta water, cheese. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Just the way I do it. It's more traditional, and I learned like a more traditional way of doing it. They don't use heavy cream or anything like that in Italy for it. That's an American thing.
It's an American thing. Okay. Yeah, I do find, and Jen and I were actually talking about it. So I've cut a lot of, like, I'm going to say like 90% of cheese out of my daily intake. Maybe less, but
Yeah.
but it's made a huge difference. And then we went away to see my parents, and like I had a little bit of cheese here and there. Like I showed you that bruschetta,
Yeah.
and that had cheese. But whoa, why is Siri talking to you?
Siri was answering you.
Oh,
I don't know why.
So I like cutting the cheese out actually kind of helped me recalibrate, I guess, because it didn't bother me when I had those small amounts of it.
Nice.
So yeah, that's been pretty good. Amazon, shout out to Magic Cheese. Magic cheese. It's a vegan, gluten-free, like a cheese sauce powder.
Okay.
And you can use it for, I made Philly cheesesteaks with it. Today I made mac and cheese with it for myself. Yeah. Shout out to those guys because they saved my ass.
Nice. Flavor is
Very comparable.
to Velveeta or
Yeah,
mac and cheese.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nice.
It's good. I enjoy it, and I could do nachos
Nice.
with cheese on it.
Nice.
It's fucking great.
Hey, a good queso is important in life.
Yeah, I often I also kick it up a notch. You know me.
Gotta
Uh,
get a little heat in there.
I do the hot sauce, the rocket ship or whatever the strange candy thing is. That's my go-to now. Just needs 2 little drops and.
I'll occasionally make another food mishap. I'll occasionally make food too spicy for Annie.
Yeah,
I tend to go like if I'm cooking, especially if I'm cooking chicken. Chicken, like I heavily season, but I go a little heavy in the cayenne.
I have to do cayenne after the fact because I did make biscuits and gravy once, and the kids were like, "This is good. It's just really flavorful." And
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I gotta not put that in beforehand, but I could put it in on
Right.
after the fact.
Right.
So a lot of my cayenne happens after the fact, except for my taco seasoning. Taco seasoning, it's got to be in there just a little bit.
I mean,
just the skosh.
if you're trying to get tacos and you don't want cayenne in there, you're not having tacos.
Agreed.
I mean, what's up?
You need a lot of
You're
cumin
just getting cumin and salt.
Yeah.
If you're not adding extra.
and chili powder.
Cumin's a magic ingredient.
Cumin is spectacular.
Yeah.
It's super underrated. I use it.
I think
all
people
the
don't
time.
realize how much it adds to so many of the things that they eat.
Well, cumin is basically Cool Ranch Doritos, right? It's
Okay.
like it's that flavor.
Yeah, it definitely has some of that.
That aroma,
like that.
that
Yeah,
aroma,
yeah.
that it's the base. It's definitely the base to that. So, if you're wondering what kind of thing it will add, it's like Cool Ranch Dorito.
Yeah.
It's like a
I always add it
layman's
to
term.
I always add it to pitas. Like if I'm warming
Oh,
up,
yeah.
if I'm warming up pitas to do with hummus or something, I'll cumin them up.
I put some cumin and brown sugar, garlic and onion
Nice.
on some pork chops today.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, so not a lot of crazy kitchen mishaps here.
No, that's because we're culinary geniuses.
Well, yeah, that is probably why.
Hashtag professionals.
Hashtag professionals.
But yeah. I mean, I kind of think that or using 12 eggs and not eating a single one of them. That's a mishap.
Yeah. I've definitely burnt the bottoms of some pizza doughs.
Yeah, that'll happen.
When I was kind of like getting into making pizza
Mm-hmm.
for a little while, I definitely did that. All right, I had
Yeah.
some times where putting the pizza dough onto
Yeah.
into the oven, I didn't get it to come off of the
Right.
peel very good.
Right. It's because
So you get a real thin spot,
Yeah.
and that just burns up. And...
Well, the other thing that I've run into before is, and it basically turns your pizza into calzone, is you're not using enough flour
Yeah.
to make it slide off the peel, because
Yes.
sometimes it'll slide and then all of a sudden it'll hit a little spot that's uncovered and it goes whop,
Yep, and then you have a calzone.
and then you have a calzone.
Because there are no wrong turns in life. There are merely alternate routes.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Bob Ross, happy accidents.
Indeed. Indeed.
Happy accidents.
You know how we were having pizza tonight? Surprise! We're having calzone.
It's a pizza pocket. It's just a large pizza
We're
pocket.
having calzones. Somewhat open-faced.
Well, I did try to close it.
Yeah.
You know. But you got to leave a little bit to breathe. Otherwise, it'll fucking explode.
That's true.
Exploding
That is very true.
calzones are never fun.
No. Great
Everyone-
band name, though.
Oh, yeah. You ever wonder why they have a little hole in the top of the calzone? Because they'll fucking explode.
That's right. That's right. They got to let it bubble up.
Mhm.
Steam.
Indeed.
Steam to escape. Either that or you get the real doughy inside.
Right, yeah, that's
Right?
no
Because it's
good
just
either.
wet.
Yeah.
No steam came out at all. So you just got wet, hot dough inside.
Yeah. My mom does the fried calzones.
Ooh. So
Fried
like,
calzones.
It's like an empanada, but like thicker. and-
Italian
Yeah.
empanada.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just cheese. She doesn't do the ham and
Right. Okay.
the good stuff.
Right.
But yeah, there are a few
I
places
don't know,
you
man.
got
Cheese calzone. That's like a big cheese stick. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty great.
I like calzones. I like the fried calzones, but I like a little bit of a little zazz in there. I like a little pepperoni, a little ham.
yeah.
You know, something to kick it up. Not too bland.
So you do the fried calzone, and then you cover it with pepperoni and cheese, and then you stick it under the broiler. See, and then
I like
we have the stuffed crust pizza, but it's just all stuffed crust,
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
right?
This guy's a genius.
This
A
is-
culinary genius.
This is how
Well, you know,
how bad things happen.
We've made some great stuff before.
We
I don't
have.
think I don't think we've had a real mishap per se.
No. Well, we're good at I think the reason that we don't quite have as many mishaps these days is not because we're good, but it's because we're flexible and able to shift and
Okay.
say, "Oh,
This was
I
okay.
destroyed this item, but I know how to make it into this other item and it'll be great."
Right. Right.
So we can pivot. That is key to not having a disaster, is being able to pivot.
Mm.
Being able to go, this pizza is now a calzone. That is
Yeah.
smart, because when you serve it, you go, calzone. You don't go,
Mm.
I made a pizza, but I fucked it up.
Right. Right.
See, it's all wordplay. Smoke and mirrors.
Actually,
But we've done some good stuff. We did. I think the first thing we ever cooked together was wings,
Yeah.
and then we've done a number of like I've cooked and brought over, or things like that.
Yeah.
I think mostly what we cook together is wings.
We've done wings, but we also did the swordfish tacos.
Oh yeah, those are really good.
I feel like a couple of times you and I have gone, all right, let's get together in the kitchen, but you take this and I'll take this, and we kind of split up and meet in the middle kind of thing. We've done that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of you cooking, Jen would like Jimmy's mac and cheese for her birthday in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Done.
She said we'll pay for the cheese if you want.
Well, that's going to be really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you a list.
$100 cheese bill. Here we go.
Off to Uncle Giuseppe's we go.
Oh, man. Well, if you had a fun cooking mishap, we want you to let us know. We want to know your stories.
Yeah.
Shit. Leave a message on the messages. Text us. I don't have the number in front of me. Otherwise, I would have told you.
Oh, it'll be.
I used to have it written up.
it'll be in the description. Yeah.
It'll be in the description. But leave a message and, whatever.
Now, I will say we are every time we record these, we are also doing them live on our Patreon. So
Yes.
I've been kind of scanning the Patreon, and I've seen some kind of fun, some mishaps. We do have our friend G in there who has used, she has used flour instead of sugar in things before that she has then brought to me to taste. She is also, or no, salt instead of sugar she's done before. She asked if we have corned bread.
Corned bread?
Corned bread.
No, that's canned bread.
Canned bread. Oh, sorry.
Yes, we did have canned bread in one of the early episodes
Yeah.
of Bacon is My Podcast.
And
You
I
can find those in the archives.
I recently saw an ad for canned bread.
What?
Yeah, I was shit. I meant to text you right away. It was this week because you were gone, and I was like, I'm gonna text him this. And I was like, I'm not gonna. He's gone. I'm not gonna text him this.
You should have.
I should have.
You absolutely should.
But it was like on YouTube, and I saw something, and it was like some kind of ad for canned bread, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know this existed, and it was the same shit. I was like, oh my god, all right, someone else in the world besides Bob.
Well, listen. All that canned bread, it was all made in 1962.
Yeah,
They got to get rid of it somehow.
Yeah.
YouTube's a huge reach.
same place that
Huge
they made candy corn.
Yeah, exactly.
And circus peanuts.
They wash it up.
Same factory.
Fun story. Circus peanuts. I came home from South Carolina visiting my parents, and there was a tub of circus peanuts on my counter. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And as it turned out, my Aunt Patty, was watching the dogs, had a little snafu with the Peapod. They tend to like just give her extra shit.
Okay.
So like we ended up with like 5 or 6 packs of juice boxes.
Nice.
We have some in the fridge.
That's
if you
a
want
score.
Some.
That's a good.
That is a score.
Yeah. Circus
But
peanuts,
she got circus peanuts and
Not
she left
so
them there,
much.
and I was like, did they send us Tiny Ghosts? Did they send us fucking circus peanuts?
Right.
And it was not. It was Aunt Patty,
All right.
and I said, thank you for the circus peanuts, and then in the garbage they went.
You didn't bring them on for a tasting?
No, the kids tried them and they were like, this is
awful.
This is yeah, not
Awful.
good.
Yeah. But yeah, so thank you for everybody that joined us live and was watching this too. For everybody that's at home listening, thank you guys for that. If you're driving, thank you for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like you were saying, if you guys had any kind of a fun mishap in the kitchen,
yeah,
send it over to us. Let us know. Yeah, stay in touch with us with hashtag What's Your Bacon.
Indeed.
Hashtag Bacon is my pod, and be part of the conversation.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
Where can they find you, bud?
Me, at me my own self, Mike. Personally, you'll find just basically what we're doing, and then also my band. You can find us at Something Heavy Music on the socials.
Nice.
We're on Spotify, all the other things. We got music coming out. We're working on stuff.
Nice.
All sorts of stuff. What about you, Jimsy?
Me, you can find Jimmy G Shoes on all the socials. You can find my band Craving Strange at cravingstrange.net. We also have stuff coming out, new things that are happening here and there. So definitely keep in touch with us over there. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
And don't forget, if you're watching, all of our stuff that you can find us is right above our heads. You can kind of see it up here. So if you're on strangerhoodtv.com and checking this out and watching us and looking at our beautiful faces in these glowing lights.
Yeah, new lights.
You can find us at all those places. If you are not watching and you're just listening, baconsmypodcast.com is the easiest place to go because you can get links to everything, including our personal stuff, including to all the cool sponsors that we have and the deals that we have with them. So
also to our Twitch.
Yeah, to our Twitch, which we are now doing every week.
So not only do we have
often.
Yeah. Almost every week.
Almost every week. Yeah.
It'll be every week now. Like starting now.
Right.
Starting
now.
So twitch.tv/baconismypod is where you'll be able to
join us and
watch us write music.
Yeah, watch us write and record
it's a
an
little
entire EP.
Yeah, it's a little different than this. It's not necessarily the. I mean, we bust each other's balls.
Right.
That's just kind of what we do. But
Yeah.
you'll get an inside look at just a fly on the wall look at the production of an EP, and it's been really exciting. I think tomorrow we have the producer of this EP,
Yes.
Dave Caggiano, coming on.
He's going to be on, hanging with us and telling us live what he thinks of all the songs we sent him. We did not talk to him first, so he might come on and just say he hates everything.
Yes,
That
if
could
he
happen.
does,
Back to the drawing board.
then
It'll be a different show.
Yeah, it'll be a completely different,
Really
show.
different kind of show. So we'll see that. But thank you guys once again for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you enjoy it. And don't forget to ask yourself every day the most important question that you can ask yourself.
What's your bacon?
What's your bacon?